Hello everyone. Last time what we understood was how to write a uh, Java code to show us a frame, and then we put some ornaments like some panel, some text box, some label, etc. So this was the program, if you remember correctly. Then, and here you can input some number and it can calculate, right? That's good. Now let's go back and um, sorry, let's go back to our code. Okay, let me close all of these. I don't know why it is not coming down. Anyway, let's go back. So here is our class that bank calculate JFrame. Now what I wanted to do is, here you see we have not put any default value in the JText field, right? So here I created the JText field and I put it insert input thing. So what I can say is insert interest input and dot set text, and we can specify number. Basically we have to provide a string, so this plus, let's say, 5.0. so this is what we wanted to do. If this is the case, then what will happen is we can see that by default it will have this 5.0 over here, and we can modify and then get the calculation as we were doing earlier. Now see, this is a free flow model. They are not very organized. That's why we will use panel later on. But for today's class, what we want to focus is, we want to focus different kind of text fields. So let's say not only I want to see this new sum, I want to also see the old sums that were available. So what we could do is we can create something called JText area. So we will have a JText area where we can have a bigger, like here JText field, JLabel, it can show only as a continuous string. JText area we can specify number of row and number of column, and it can show over particular text box. So let me do that. Set text. So let me create another component that is called JText area. Let's say history text equals, no, I add like that, and let me import the JText area. Now here what I can do is I can create the JText area. Okay, let me create the JText area. History text equals new JText text area. And I wanted to define some columns. See, here I can put how many rows and how many columns I wanted to have. So let's say I wanted to have 30 rows, and let's say I wanted to have 30 columns. Not 30 rows, I don't think 30 rows can be visible over there. So let me do 10 rows and 30 columns. Okay. So we put that. Now what we wanted to do is, every time user click on that calculate button, not only we show the new sum, but we also show the sum in the JText area. So what would we do? We would say history text dot append. Okay, see, I am not setting text because I will keep on appending the text one after another. So I append, and I can say I'll just do this empty string plus so new total plus we have to do a new line, right? So that is what we will do. And also I forgot to add this history text in the panel, so I have to add that here. Panel dot add history text, right? So we are done. Now we can compile it. See, here we have the history text, it is showing. Now remember that the 30 column is too big, that's why it was not showing initially, but now it is showing. So now we can do it and it can grow. So after it fills, it grows. So let me do it for less column because we cannot support 30 columns. So let me do 20 columns, okay, and 10 rows. So if I run it now, so see, it is 10 rows and 20 columns. Now if I put calculate, it will keep on calculating, and when the length or the line number is bigger than row, it will increase the row. Now that is not a good solution, right? You don't want your whatever graphics code you do to grow bigger and bigger and bigger. What you do, you want a scrolling window kind of thing where you can scroll back and forth, right? So there is a way to do that. To have a scroll view, what you can do is we can use something called JScrollPen. And I was talking to you earlier, right? And I was telling you that we can have different panel, pane, etc, etc. So now what will we do? We will add instead of adding this history text directly to this panel, we will add this to a pane, and that pane will be added to panel. So we can do like this. Scroll panel pen equals, sorry, let's say pen equals new scroll pen, and then we can add this history text over there, and here I can basically add this history. I can add panel dot add, and I can add this pen here, right? And now we can see, if we compile this code, we can see if it grows larger, there will be a scroll pen. So we are putting this history text, which is a J text area, inside the scroll panel, so the size inside the frame remains same. Whenever it grows larger, we just have a scroll bar. Now here you see one thing, we have used J text area. Now by default, J text area is editable. That means a user can delete, edit, or I can type something and things like that. But here our initial intention was to have this text box as for the user to input something, but this will be output text box kind of thing. So we have to make it uneditable. We can do that by using some function. So here what we can say is history text, history text dot set editable, and we can make it false. Okay. If we do that, then if we wanted to edit this text over here, we won't be able to do it anymore. Okay, so this is how we use JText area, and we added the scroll bar and things like that. Now for added feature, we will go into some more visualization tool using graphics. Okay, let's do that. I wanted to show you something. So basically, you remember that the basic class that we all inherit in the swing is J component, and J text component we have a field and J text component. So basically J text component inherits J component, and J text field, J text area both inherit the J text component part. Again, J component has many subclasses such as J panel, J label, etc. etc. Now, till now we have done like button text processing. Now, if we wanted to have a bar chart kind of thing, for an example, let's look at this. If we wanted to draw something like bar chart or draw a circle and draw a point and things like that, then we need to we can use paint component. Okay, so and in the paint component, whatever we define, we can do that. Okay, here you will have a coordinate system like this. You will have a x coordinate going this way and y coordinate going this way. Usually our things are a little bit different, like we start from here and then we have like y here or this way and x this way. But on this topic, on the graphic side, you start from the top left corner and then you decide what is the actual coordinate. So let's go back and try to draw simple bars that we can use. Okay, let's go back. Let's try to do what we just learned. So basically here I can create a Java class. Let's say I want to create a component. So my what are you going to say, canvas. Let's say my canvas. This is what I want to do. And what you want to do is you will try to extend it. Extend to J components. Okay. Extend to J components. Yeah, JavaX. Now J component has a function called, oh I forgot the name, I think paint component or something like that. Let me try. Paint component. Yep, paint component. So you do that. If you do that, then what you can do is basically it is this is automatically called when the set visible function is called and things like that. Here you can paint whatever you want, like G dot fill, fill rectangle. See, there are many functions available. G is the graphics. Fill rectangle will ask you to for the initial coordinate. So let's say I want to do 10 pixel, and then width let's say do 200 and height let's say do 10. Okay, so this will be a bar printed. Now how can we visualize it? So let me write a main function, public static void main, right, and string args. And so first we have to create a JFrame. So similarly like driver class we were doing. So let me call this yep, here we will edit some of these functions. So first we will have to have a new JFrame. We don't need JPanel, so we will have the size, set size. Of course we will have set title and let's say my canvas. That's my right. So if we do that, and we have to add this to the frame. So we'll be adding a new, so J component JC equals new my canvas. Okay, we added that, and let's add it to frame dot add, and we can add JC. And if we run this, let's run this, you can see that now in the frame this is printed. So basically idea is whatever J component is basically a blank class. Whatever you write inside this paint component thing, it will be printed, provided you have to do it before this set visible thing. Okay, now let's say you wanted to put a oval. So let me do it. G dot oval, draw oval. Now you wanted to have x, let's say x is 20, y is 20, and width, let's say you wanted to do, I don't know, maybe 300, and height is 100, right? So I wanted to paint a oval. So if I do that, then you can see there is the oval printed over here. Now let's do let's put a message. Let's put an annotation message. So we can do g dot message. I think g dot set message. I forgot. Let me go back to the slide. I think it was here. Yeah, G is just draw string. Okay, so I forgot that. Draw string. Now let's put some message. So what we could do, G dot draw string, and we can put the string like, let's say let me put my name, and we have to specify the x and y. So x, let's say 200, and y, let's say y how much, 200, or yeah, that's fine. Now if I remember, this 200 is 200 pixel, not 200 columns, so don't get confused with that. Okay, so here you can see, so from here from on the x-axis 200 pixel, y-axis 200 pixel, we have my name printed over here. Okay, let's go back. Similarly, we can set the color and things like that. So you can set the color of a component to like whatever fill layer it will do and things like that. So let's draw a flag. So flag of Italy, I would say, which has 3 colors. So basically the flag will be printed as something like, let's draw a flag of Italy, something like this. So the left side should be, this box would be covered with green. Let me check what was the Italy's flag, I forgot. So this green, this is white, and this is red. So let's go back. So first what we have to do, we have to figure out the coordinates, right? If you wanted to draw a flag like this, let's have 10 is the x coordinate here, and let's say 100, and then 200, and then 300. So it's a bit 310, 210, 100, 110, right? And then similarly here 10, 110, 210, 310. Now y can simply be here 200, and here it can simply be 400. So 110, 400. Let me write it down. 400, 400. Here 200. Here 200. Here 200. So x coordinate here is 10, and y coordinate is 200, and things like that. So as we said, it will be x will be 10, and y is 200, and our width is 100 and height is 200. So let us see. If we do that, it will it is drawing it green, but it is not draw rectangle, it should be fill rectangle. Fill rectangle. Let's do this again. Yes, it is doing it. Now let us again copy this. We have to draw for white, right? Now for white we don't need to do anything. We can just ignore it. We just have to do it for the red part. So then we do red, and from where to where? We have to do it from 210, 200 and 100 and 200. Now let's run it again. We see that we are almost there. Let us increase the size of the things. So let us do height is 600 and width to 400. Then we can see them properly. See, now they are done. Now what we have to do is we have to draw some borders. So for the borders, what we could do is we can do this. Set color to black, and we can do draw rectangle, and we can start from 10 to 200, and the height it should be 300, width should be 300, and height is 200. Let us draw it. You see, this is drawn. Now we have to just draw two lines over here. So let me see. G dot draw line, right? So line is first one, x1 is 110 and 200, and x2 is 110 and 400, right? So let us see. So the first line will be drawn. Here we can see. Now we have to draw one line over here. So similarly we can easily do it. So here we have to do 210, x coordinate is 210, here also x coordinate 210, and if I do that, voila, our flag is complete. So here we showed you how we can draw some graphics using Java and Java Swing. Basically it's very easy. So first you have to add them like draw using J component, and then create a Java frame and add that component to the Java frame. That way you can see it. I hope this helps, and on Monday we will meet for the lab, and